This is Hiring on All Cylinders, live from HR Tech. The beat goes on here at Hiring on All Cylinders live at the 19th Annual HR Tech Conference and Exposition. We mean to carry on as we started out with another excellent guest, Brian Sommer. He is the CEO of TechVentive and VitalAnalysis. He is a prolific writer in the HR space. Catch his musings on Wall Street Journal Europe, ZDNet, Diginomica, among others. And he is a very highly sought-after HR business consultant. Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Glad to be here.
And this interview is so juicy that my own CEO, John Bishke, could absolutely not say no to joining us. So, John, thank you so much for being here as well.
Anytime I can hang out with Brian, I'm here.
I would like to now get out of your way and let you sit back and watch as you two just blow the roof off this place.
All right. Well, so Brian and I had our first sit down like 3 years ago over a plate of nachos.
I was going to say it was at I don't even think that restaurant's there anymore down by Moscone.
Chevy's. Yeah. By Moscone. And we've been talking ever since about HR. So Brian, first of all, TechVentive, VitalAnalysis, give the elevator pitch for what you do.
Well, we mostly do a lot of work for end customers on like software selections, shared service projects. We also do some pretty amazing projects we can't talk about, like antitrust investigations or litigation into the big ERP world. But I can't say any more than that.
We're under NDA here, right?
No, we're not under NDA here. No.
All right, just trying for a scoop for the Hiring on All Cylinders podcast. So far with the show, you've been on the floor. What are your observations? What are your takeaways so far?
Well, I got a couple of hot ones here for you. First one is anyone who thinks they know how to spell HR like I thought I have for the last, bazillion years. Apparently I was wrong because you can't spell HR without the letters AI.
Interesting.
I guess that's because now everybody has to have machine learning, artificial intelligence, whatever in their products. The other thing I learned was that even if you have something as small as just a little tiny smartphone app, well, you also have a platform. And now everybody has to have a platform with their product. And maybe the third thing I've already learned is, again, it doesn't matter how big or how small your product line is. Again, it could be just one single smartphone app. Well, then what you have is you need all other products to integrate with your suite. I didn't know that we'd gone from an app to a package to a suite are all the same thing now. But yeah, there's clearly a lot of marketing that's running out way in front of the reality of what's out there in the marketplace today.
So we need to get out there and play some buzzword bingo on the show floor. Look for the AI platform suite for HR.
Colleague of mine, Frank Scavo, will be an analyst. He'll be here in a few minutes. So he and I are going to walk through the show floor, and we're going to do exactly that.
Nice.
In fact, another analyst is going, please videotape that. I mean, we got to put that on YouTube. You two guys walking through that show floor.
I love it.
What's the free space in that bingo card? HR is broken. Is that the free space?
No.
Disrupt HR.
Yeah, disrupt, exactly.
Well, anyway, and if I could, one of the big observations so far, I have to say is, and not to get too overly analytical on this, a lot of the products that are out here today were built like in 2005 or 2007, and a lot of them are early stage cloud solutions. And the good news is they have things like multi-tenancy in them, which is great. The problem is no one's really innovated beyond that. And all those products were built when they took like an on-premise function like ATS, talent management, whatever, and they put it on the cloud. They didn't change the data model or anything else because back then technology was still constrained. We didn't have enough bandwidth. We didn't have enough memory. We didn't have enough throughput, whatever it was. And now we live in a world of unconstrained technology. Even your company, John, you guys use big data and in-memory technology as well. And that's where I would have thought I'd be hearing a whole lot of conversation to the show. And now still people are still thinking in terms of relational database systems, subledgers, slow-going, limited bandwidth kind of things. They haven't learned. There's a whole new world of like a cloud 2.0 kind of technology out there, and I'm not seeing much of anything that's really embracing that today.
So on one hand, you're hearing a lot of talk about machine learning and AI and things that are probably realistically pretty far in the future for a lot of these companies. And then when you look under the hood and you see the technology, you're actually seeing technology that's probably older than people think it is.
What I see is a lot of people putting a bit and a bridle and a set of reins on a really old horse, and we need instead to put like autonomous driving vehicles out there instead of the horse and buggies we got today.
Yeah, interesting. So you have a couple of things coming up here this week. So you've got a panel. Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, I have a panel which will really be interesting. Once again, I get to be paired up with the inimitable Naomi Bloom and with Mr. Bill Kudik.
Fantastic.
And it's always something when the Mr. Bill show comes around. I'll tell you right now, I'll telegraph what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say a word for probably the first couple of minutes because I think first Bill's going to try and take control, and Naomi's going to try and jump in with a long answer on something, and then when the first starts flying, well, then that's when I'm going to jump in and you go bam with some great insights and and make them both look bad.
Well, that'll be an incredible panel, and then you have a breakout tomorrow, is it tomorrow?
Yep, I got
breakout tomorrow as well. The new ROI around HR. Talk to us about that.
Well, let's face it, some of the folks come to the show are out there on the show floor kicking tires on things like a payroll package, and their company may be on the 5th generation payroll system, for example. Every additional time that you re-automate a previously automated function, the incremental benefits are almost negligible compared to the incremental cost of re-automating that thing. I call those packagectomies. And, the ROI, there is no ROI on that. What you have to do is you got to look more creatively. If you're going to go with a cloud solution, at least get a multi-tenant one and get rid of all the IT support staff on there. Or get a solution like OneSource Virtual where they take over all the maintenance of all the integrations that happen, let's say, between a Workday solution and all the million third-party administrators and other kind of products out there. So there's a lot. There are other places to find the value, and there's a way that HR execs need to start analyzing processes and conditioning the conversation with other executives on the executive team about what kind of modernization is going to be required in HR if they're going to build the company of the future.
Makes sense. Well, anything else interesting you want to share with the audience here about what you're seeing, at the show, not at the show, just anything top of mind before we wrap?
I want to be positive because I want to talk about engagement. Engagement's all about positivity. What's your mood color today, by the way? You can't swing a dead cat in here and not hit 5 vendors selling an engagement solution. And the sad thing is, I think a lot of them are missing the target. That the biggest cause why people are disengaged at work is they work for a horrible boss, a psychopath, a narcissist, a bully, a paranoid. You pick it, whatever. Or if you're really lucky, you get the trifecta. You get 3 pathologies in one. And if you fix the bad boss problem, you could probably have the greatest single impact on improving engagement. And that's way more important to a lot of employees than getting an electronic attaboy. Now, this is my personal opinion. I've heard so many other people here talk about, no, we need to get people to feel good about themselves, and then they'll want to lose weight and they'll exercise more, and then that will make them, be more engaged. And I'm like, whenever I hear up talking on a pitch, I know this is not going to be founded in real science. In some cases, there is some good stuff out there. Engagement. I'm being very facetious, but oh my God, there's just too much on the engagement front right now. We need innovation in some other areas.
Well, or an app for eliminating horrible bosses. Would that be a good app?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's design that app.
Yeah, because I don't want to name names, but there were some in my past that, man, they should have been kicked to the curb a long time ago.
Funny. Well, good stuff, Brian. Thanks for coming by today. Thanks for doing the show, and best of luck with the panel and the breakout tomorrow.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me over, guys, and I hope you guys at Intello have a good at least you get a couple of business cards at your booth this year.
I hope we do.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks,
sir.
Brian. For more from the force of nature that is Brian Sommer, check out his presentation tomorrow, 1:15. That is the business case for HR changes getting harder. What can you do about it? And then his panel with Naomi and Bill is also tomorrow at 3:30. Thanks again, Brian.